Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Fantasy Matters podcast. I'm your host, Anthony Nicholson, and as always, I'm joined by my son, Mr. Brendan Nicholson.
We cover matchups of the week, who starts and who sits, games to watch, who's balling and who's falling, and a waiver wire. Welcome to Fantasy Matters.
Hey, what's going on, folks? Welcome back to the Fantasy Matters Fantasy Football Podcast. This is episode 16 for us. We'll be looking at week 12 of the NFL season, getting those fantasy lineups together. Got some sad news for everybody. Brendan's got to work, so he's not here tonight. But I got a worthy replacement, Mr. Greg Munt.
Yo, what's up, y'all?
My guy. How you doing, man?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm good, man. I appreciate you sitting there and hanging out with me. I miss my son a little bit, but I think you're going to be all right.
I appreciate it. I appreciate the invite.
They told you to guess rules, right?
Yeah, they told me to guess rules.
You sure? Let's go over them real quick.
All right.
Rule number 1, don't disrespect me. That's not good. We'll shut your mic off. Rule number 2, don't disagree with me. We'll shut your mic off. Rule number 3, remember rules 1 and 2. I'll just mess with you.
Creative
You
rules,
good.
man.
You good. You do your thing. If you do what you did last week with Brendan, we'll be all right. So like I said, we're going to look at week 12 of the fantasy season. Season's going by quick. It's getting into that playoff push, so we about to get into it. Let's go over the injuries real quick.
All right.
All right, so some of the injuries from week 11. Aaron Jones has got a knee. It's not his ACL. They say it's MCL damage, so the recovery time's not going to be nearly as long as what it looked like Sunday. Another running back, Deontay Foreman, he's got an ankle injury. Might miss some time. Cooper Kupp, wide receiver for the Rams, ankle. They say it's a low ankle sprain, so he may miss, what you think, 1 or 2 games?
I see about 2, maybe max 3, depending on how severe.
Yeah, high ankle sprain, that's a kiss of death, so he's all right.
I'm going to say 3 just to play
3.
safe.
Running back, Devon Achane, the knee. They said he could have came back in the game yesterday, but they held him out as a precaution. I guess they felt like they had the game in hand, so they just held him out. So he should be back week 12.
Yeah.
Kenneth Walker the third, he's got an oblique injury. Said he couldn't really move. He's real sore, so he might miss some time. So Zach Charbonnet is up. Tight end Mark Andrews, we all saw it Thursday night, cracked fibula, ankle damage, so he's going to be out for the rest of the year. He's got long recovery time. So moving down to teams on bye, no bye weeks for week 12. So we got a lot to cover. The episode might go a little quicker because we won't have any bye week replacements to work with. So week 12, no teams on bye. Let's jump into the quarterbacks. All right, so Greg is a Commanders fan, so this is going to be good. Our first quarterback to discuss, Sam Howell at Dallas.
We got to be very critical on this one because, look, Sam, my boy, by the way, he's leading the league in passing yards, just so y'all know.
You said that last time out.
He's still leading, though. Somehow he's still leading.
Somehow.
But, look, 3 picks against the New York Giants defense. They haven't made that many turnovers this entire season. And we got 9 sacks.
Right.
We moved the ball down the field, and every time, fumble. Yeah. You can't win a game with 6 turnovers.
They were snake bitten.
3 picks, 3 fumbles. Granted, it's very unfortunate, but the play calling was terrible on offense. Defense, I don't know what that was. Jack Dover, I keep calling him for him to get fired every week. It's making me more sad he's not fired.
Oh, you ain't got to worry about that. It's gonna happen.
I truly hope that the Dallas Cowboys put up a whole bag on us just because I need these coaches going. It's absolutely insane.
So this is the deal. He was 31 for 45, 255 yards. You mentioned the 3 picks. He had 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
Would you actually start him in fantasy against the Cowboys? I think I already know, but I just want to give our audience the answer.
No.
Nah.
No offense to Sam. I love my boy, but that Dallas defense, Deron blew another pick 6. So
yeah.
I don't know if I'm doing that again.
Yeah, so and I think that's why it's good to talk about him because, like you said, he's leading the league in passing, but he's coming up against a stud defense. So even in fantasy, would you play him? I wouldn't. I would go somewhere else if I had him, but I just figured I'd bring it up. Thanksgiving Day, the game's got some potential, but I wouldn't trust it. How you feel about Tommy DeVito, the Giants quarterback? You saw him up close and personal week 11.
I don't see him no different. He just lucky enough he played against one of the league's worst defenses.
Well, they playing the Patriots week 12. So
I can see them winning.
Yeah.
I low-key want them to win, though. No disrespect. I mean, my hometown team is the Patriots, but at the end of the day, I just want a better draft pick.
Yeah.
Like I already know this season. I already knew this season was done for a couple of weeks ago.
Right.
And all I really wanted was I wanted to see Sam Howell progress, and he's done that.
Right.
And at this point, there's no need for us. And Tommy DeVito helps my team out. So
Yeah.
go ahead, Tommy. Go ahead. I'm gonna be rooting for you, bro.
I mean, honestly, with him playing the Patriots, dude, I would start him. I like him as a free agent pickup. That's probably our number one free agent pickup to talk about. But I like him because the Giants, they used Saquon in their game plan.
For once.
Yeah.
Thank God.
And I like it. I like what DeVito did. He made good throws. I mean, 3 TDs in an NFL game, that's no joke. But if you go back to Sam Howell, by contrast, McLaurin he's not a lock every week to put up numbers.
No.
And to me, that's the telltale sign of your development as a quarterback. Does your best player get the rock? And I wouldn't mess with Howell against a good defense. But this DeVito cat playing the Patriots, because the Patriots won't be able to hold the ball. Because offensively they're weak.
Terrible.
So he's gonna get his opportunity. So I like him. Yeah, I think to him, he's a free agent to look at. What about Jordan Love at the Lions?
I'm not doing it.
Don't like it?
Nah, I don't. No,
Our first disagreement.
No disrespect to Jordan Love. I like Jordan Love a lot as a quarterback. Going into the season, I have a lot of expectations for him.
Right.
But he really hasn't been living up to the expectations that much this season. It's kind of like it's lukewarm in my opinion.
All right.
From what I've seen, I'm like, okay, well, he has his games where he's hot. He has his games where he's like, okay, there's potential. But to be fair, his offensive line is terrible. He has no receivers.
Right.
I thought Christian Watson was going to be all right. I never thought he was nothing crazy. But I still thought he could have been a lot better than what he has been showing.
Nah, it ain't. He not really showing you anything. But Love's coming off 322 yards.
Yeah, but
2 touchdowns.
It's against the Chargers defense.
Good point.
Chargers defense it's not terrible, but it's nowhere near like the Lions.
Yeah.
The Lions all around one of the best teams in the league.
The Lions have a good formula. They have a good formula. I think I think I would start them because I feel like that Thanksgiving game is going to be kind of explosive. I think both teams are going to be hyped. I think it's going to go pretty good. I think I feel good about Love against the Lions because they give up yards, but once they get a lead and they let their D-line go, it's tough. It's tough, but I think maybe I'm going to cool a little bit on. I think Love is borderline starter worthy. Borderline. Yeah. But he's not a lock for what you talked about. All right, let's talk about the hometown kid, Russell Wilson.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna start Russell. I'm going to start Russell.
Against the Browns now.
The Browns have arguably the best defense in the league, but I'm sorry.
The argument's almost over.
It's almost over. It's almost over.
Right.
But if you look at Russell Wilson the past 4 weeks,
nice.
Even before then, he was still playing really good football.
Yeah.
Obviously, they didn't win all the games before the last 4 weeks, but I don't think that was solely on him. I think that had to do with his defense.
The team's getting better.
But the defense, they got rid of a couple of players.
Mm-hmm.
They tightened it up, and in the past, I want to say 4 weeks, besides last night, they only allowed on average 15 points. That is insane.
That's good.
They beat the Bills and they beat the Chiefs.
Yeah. So is Russell Wilson fantasy starter worthy?
Yes.
Okay.
For this week, for sure. For this week, for sure.
All right. It's gonna be interesting because the Browns rookie quarterback, they're gonna give you some balls back. They're gonna be limited offensively. So I think Denver will give them more problems than Pittsburgh did week 11 for sure.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't hesitate to start him. I think I'd give him a go-to. Good points. What about Kyler Murray at the Rams or versus the Rams? The Rams coming to Kyler Murray.
Man, watching this man Kyler Murray play,
mm-hmm.
He is something special, and I'm glad he's actually able to play the last couple of weeks before the season's over and show the organization hey yo, I'm your franchise quarterback. Pay me some respect. Don't drive Caleb Williams. Don't drive Drake May. I like this.
Yeah,
I'm gonna start him.
I'm
gonna start him. The Rams defense is kind of it's lukewarm. Their secondary isn't as good as it used to be with They lost Darius Williams, I think, to the Jags, and then they also lost Jalen Ramsey they traded him actually to the Dolphins.
Yeah,
and it's kind of hard. I'm kind of just barely I'm gonna start Kyler.
Yeah,
just because they're playing against the Rams defense.
It looks like he's. I think I won't say rusty, but he's just still recovering. They say the ACL injury is a year's recovery.
Yep.
And he didn't hurt it until week 13 last year. So to me, it just seems like he's slowly getting back into it. Maybe he's trusting a lot more. I'm surprised that he's even running the ball. So good for him on that. But against the Rams, I like them division games. And I think Kyler Murray is probably going to have one of his better games because it is a division game, team that he knows. He's got weapons. I mean, they got a solid team. So I would definitely start him. I think I'd give him a shot. All right, let's jump down to the running backs. Derrick Henry at the Panthers.
Oh, he's going to run all over the Panthers. He is going to run all over. Have you seen picture? Have you seen a picture of him besides Mark Ingram? That man is huge.
Yeah, I mean, without a doubt, that's a big dude. But his last 2 weeks, 24 yards, 38 yards.
But that's true. That is true. But
give me something to work with because I got him, and I need you to talk me off the ledge.
I think this is a good. I think this is a good get right game.
Get right for him.
Yeah, because when you go back and look, since Will Levis has been the starting quarterback, they started to pass the ball a lot more.
Yeah.
When Ryan Tannehill was a quarterback, they're like, I don't know about Ryan because Ryan keep throwing picks, he's throwing bad balls, so we're gonna run it more with Derrick Henry.
Yeah.
I feel like if they give him the amount of touches that he deserves as one of the best running backs in the league, in my personal opinion, and I just think there's no way he doesn't at least give you 60 yards and a touchdown. Yeah. At least 60 yards and a touchdown.
I think he could do that every week against any NFL defense, but he hasn't. Yeah. Their offensive line is really bad and the quarterback is young. And that's, to me in fantasy, that's really not a good formula for getting points and wins. You have to start him because it's Derrick Henry. One handoff and it's over. And he's fantasy relevant, over, right?
Yeah.
So it's hard to sit him. But I tend to agree with you. They're playing the Panthers. He's going to get multiple chances because the Panthers can't keep the ball either. They're pretty bad. So, so Derrick Henry's a starter?
Yep.
All right. What about A.J. Dillon at Detroit? He's in that Thursday game as well. Aaron Jones is gone now, so he's the guy.
I don't know if I'm starting A.J. Dillon. No disrespect to A.J. Dillon. That man is a big dude, too.
He's a big dude.
He's a big dude, too. But,
right?
I mean, for most of the season, he's been getting more carries than Aaron Jones.
Right.
He hasn't. Right. He's been productive, but just nowhere near to me like how Aaron Jones was when he was getting that amount of carries. I feel like he'll get a good amount of yards, but that's it.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like he's going to be involved in the passing game as much as Jones was either. His hands aren't really nice like that. So it's like, if they're going to get if they get inside the 5, he's going to get a couple cracks at it. But
for sure.
Yeah, but it's just hard to say you feel like, his volume justifies you starting him. So I think normally Brendan and I break it down into tiers. To me, he would be like a running back 3. So that means I got 2 other guys that I know are going to put up numbers and help my fantasy team. And whatever I get from him is just icing on the cake.
Yeah.
So I would start him as my running back 3 just because of the volume. What about James Cook at the Eagles? How you feel about that one?
I'm starting to come around. I'm starting to come around because for a while I was always against this whole James Cook idea. Nothing against him. I really like him as a player.
Right.
But I mean, he didn't really do a whole lot last year, but to be fair, he was in a backup role, but now he's starting in the first half of the season. He didn't really do much.
Yeah.
But James Cook was the sole reason why I almost lost last week.
He had a big game.
Despite
the fumbles.
But despite the fumbles and the one that he dribbled, which was insane.
That was nice.
He literally almost cost me the game.
Yeah.
And that was like, wow, like James Cook is he's actually a pretty good running back. So
he can play.
I like Georgia? This. I like this James Cook and the Eagles defense. You can run on them as long as you have a good offensive line.
Yeah. I think they're starting to, you can see, well, I guess since they fired the offensive coordinator, got this new dude in, Joe Brady, it seems like their play calling is a little different. More play action, a lot more motion. So it seemed to help him out. I mean, 17 carries, 73 yards. He had a couple targets and a touchdown. So against the Eagles, I give him a shot. The Eagles defense, they give up some plays.
Yeah.
They give up some plays. So it's at Philly. But I give him a shot. I think with his volume, you really can't deny him on that one.
Yeah, I think he's more of like a third running back.
RB3?
Like you said, the third RB3.
I could go with that. What about Raheem Mostert now?
Yes.
At the Jets.
I don't know what got into him this year because every year beforehand, he had one good year with San Francisco. And after that, he was injury prone. He was on and off the field. And I didn't have high expectations.
So bro, I'm gonna tell you the key to it. This will help you out next year. When you play Miami, defenses have to back up. You can't play at your normal depth because they're going to run behind you. So Miami's running backs are always going to get points. As long as Tyreek Hill is on the field, Miami's running backs will always get points. It doesn't matter who they are. And these two dudes, Mostert and Achin, they both ran track. Those dudes are fast. They run like cars, man. So
the whole team is crazy fast.
The dude in our league drafted Mostert, and he got him late. And I was like, man, that was a good pick. But yeah, those dudes, they're always going to get yards, man. You definitely have to play him. Achin's going to be back, and they're probably going to split it up 50-50, 60-40, but he's going to get yards. He's going to get yards. I like him against the Jets. They playing Tim Boyle. They didn't set there. Zach Wilson. So now Tim Boyle comes in. They're not going to hold the ball. Defense going to get tired. You're going to have big plays. So you know the drill. All right, this last running back, Najee Harris at the Bengals.
No.
Coming off a horrible game.
I'm sorry. I love Najee Harris. I'm a big fan of those big bruiser backs. That's my favorite type of back.
Yeah.
And watching Najee Harris, like last year was so amazing. Like he was that guy, like that go-to guy. You're just giving him a rock. You just know he's gonna get you some yards. But this year, I don't know what's going on. I know you feel it all too well because he's on your team,
he's
isn't
my
he?
guy. Yeah. He was my keeper in our league.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But to go ahead, I ain't gonna interrupt you. Go ahead.
No, I was done. I'm just surprised about his production. Matt Kennedy got to get out of there.
Yeah, it looks like Jalen Warren's a better fit, and I hate to say that because Harris is one of my favorite athletes. But Najee Harris and Kyle Pitts. Two dudes that need a change of scenery.
Oh my God! Don't get me started on Kyle Pitts. I drafted Kyle Pitts.
I
drafted him.
Two guys that need a change of scenery because it just doesn't look right where they are. They're underutilized and it just doesn't look well. Doesn't look right. So against the Bengals, ironically enough, though, I would probably start him as a running back 3.
Okay.
And the only reason I say that is because the Bengals are starting to back up quarterback. They're not going to sustain drives. You're going to get more opportunities on offense. So he'll probably get 50 yards and a touchdown. And that's a running back 3. So I'd be good with that. But against good teams with like maybe not elite NFL defenses, but real good NFL defenses, he's not going to do a whole lot because he's just not as shifty as you need to be in the NFL to run around guys. He'll run through them, but not around them. So he'd be a running back 3 for me. We'll talk about my squad in a little bit. You want to skip down to the wide receivers?
All right, for Jaden Reed, he's going against the Lions. Number 2, free agent pickup. Okay.
I like him,
He had three rushing yards. Well, 3 rushing attempts for 46 yards.
Yeah.
A touchdown with 4 receptions for 46 yards.
Yeah.
Now, last week, Brendan said something about Jaden Reed. Now,
he did. That's my son.
I didn't really.
That's my son.
Look, I didn't know how to feel about Jaden Reed now. That's just me.
Yeah.
I watched a couple of Packers games with Jaden Reed. I don't know.
Yeah.
But look, you guys have put me on to Jaden Reed, and I'm telling you, I'll probably do him as a flex.
Yeah.
He's a solid flex option.
Yeah. That's a good free agent to get.
Solid flex option.
That's a good free agent to get for anybody listening out there. Yeah. See if you can get Jaden Reed. Because if Aaron Jones is going to miss time, if they're going to mix this kid in on some of the running plays, his running packages, and he's catching balls, that's good in fantasy, man. He could be a nice push getting into the playoffs. So, like you said, he's free agent number 2 for us, right behind Tommy DeVito is free agent number 1. Let's skip down to Brandon Cooks playing the Commanders. Cowboys.
Go ahead.
You like it?
Start him.
Why?
Start him.
Why?
Because the Commanders defense gonna give everybody yards. Everybody, they give everybody the love.
Yeah,
every single body.
Yeah,
it's so disheartening. And at this point, like, because I had Brandon Cooks on my fantasy team.
Okay,
and I didn't start him one week. I believe I forgot. It was like 2 weeks ago. He put up almost 30 points of fantasy. I was like, "Are you serious?" I just picked him up, and I'm thinking like, okay, I think it's a smarter idea to put Tyler Boyd.
Yeah,
because T Higgins didn't play.
Right.
So I was like, I'm gonna do Tyler Boyd, and then I look at the fantasy by the end of the night. I was like, there's no way. I lost this game, and I had Brandon Cooks on the bench for almost 30 points. Like, are you serious?
He came alive. I like him in week 12 for what you just said. The Commanders give up yards. They give up passing yards. So you figure a few of the Cowboys going to get numbers, and he should be one of them. I think he's a good, probably wide receiver 3, borderline wide receiver 2, because because CeeDee Lamb is going to be the primary guy. But I like Brandon Cooks against the Commanders.
Yeah, me too.
What about Elijah Moore, Cleveland wide receiver at Denver?
I don't know if I like Elijah Moore as a possible like number 3 receiver, but that's just kind of it for me. Like, I don't know if I can put him any higher, or like be a for sure thing. Yes, start him. I feel like it really just depends about how your fantasy team is built.
Yeah.
Because the Denver defense, like I said earlier, they're coming alive. Like that is insane. They're playing some crazy ball.
Yeah.
So
it just seems like DTR, the new quarterback, he favors the tight end Njoku and the short routes that Moore is running. But it looks like Amari Cooper is sacrificing some of his targets because he's not going down the field quite as much. Young fella might get a little bit more comfortable in week 12 and start to sling it a little bit more, but you just never know. That's asking a lot for a young quarterback, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see. I mean, Elijah Moore has 6 catches, 60 yards on 7 targets. That's pretty good from what you would call like a wide receiver 3 type dude. So I don't know. I drafted him because I felt Watson was going to, spread it around, throw it, get back to his normal yardage total, but that didn't happen. So I cut him like after the 3rd week. But I don't know. I might give him a shot week 12, though. All right. What about Cortland Sutton? He's in that same game. Russell seems to be Russell Wilson's main target. How you feel? Where you going there?
I'm kind of on the same wavelength as Elijah Moore. I mean, don't get me wrong. Cortland Sutton for the past couple of weeks is finally starting to come alive. Like,
yeah,
I had a lot of faith going into the season. I thought he was going to be the number 1 over Jerry Jeudy personally.
Right.
Jerry Jeudy, he keeps dropping the ball. The routes that he's running, they're slow. They're slow routes. They take forever to get open.
Yeah,
and it's not like Sean Payton not dialing up because you can see it. He's dialing up, and
Cortland Sutton looks the part.
Smart and looks the part. Have y'all seen that catch he made
big,
against Buffalo?
Oh yes, sir. Good call.
My God.
Good call. That's a big dude, man.
That's a big dude.
Yeah. So I think we have him listed as our number 3 free agent for this week. A guy you can probably look at because more than likely he was overlooked in a number of leagues because Denver was just so bad. But they're coming around. I mean, he caught 4 balls for 66 yards and a touchdown on 5 targets. That's pretty good. I mean, he's had consecutive weeks of touchdowns, so that's clutch in fantasy.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's a lot of points.
Yeah,
a touchdown goes a long way.
Right. That could turn a wide receiver 3 into a wide receiver 2 real easy. So we'll see. I think Cortland Sutton is a good wide receiver to target. The last one, Jacoby Myers from the Raiders. He's playing the Chiefs.
I don't think I'm going to start him against the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think I would.
I don't think I'm going to start him. No disrespect to Jacoby Myers because he's a good receiver, but
for sure.
That Chiefs defense.
Yeah.
Like on paper, when you look at it, you wouldn't think it's that crazy.
Right.
But some of these younger guys, they're balling out this year.
Amen.
Oh my God.
I think the thing with Myers and even Devontae Adams too, man, I just don't like the quarterback situation.
Oh, Aiden O'Connell?
Yeah. I mean, it's just, I don't know. I don't trust the quarterback situation. So to me in fantasy, it's hard to imagine that receivers going to put up big numbers when the quarterback is not putting up big numbers. How's that going to happen? So I tend to stay away from certain quarterback situations. So Myers, I would probably pass on that one.
Yeah.
I would try to get out of that offense.
That point right there is like a big concern for any of the Raiders players besides Devontae Adams.
Yeah.
That's the only exception. He gonna get open regardless. He gonna do something.
Yeah.
You saw him against Miami on Sunday?
Yeah, he had a good game.
Look, he does what he wants.
Yeah.
That he's crazy.
I was surprised. Okay, cool. So that's the wide receivers. Let's jump down to the tight ends. This cat Trey McBride for Arizona. He's playing the Rams.
He's coming alive, man.
Nice.
He's coming alive.
Nice. He fell off that 100-yard game, which any tight end would, but still he had 5 for 43 on 7 targets.
Kyler's
looking
solid.
His way, bruh.
That's still solid for a tight end. Because a lot of tight ends, they finish the season with a lot of the good ones will finish off with good old 700, 800 yards.
Right.
And and Zach Ertz was the number 1 guy for a little while.
He pushed Brendan. That's Brendan's boy. He pushed him to the back of the line. Look, he's getting the scraps.
Zach Ertz might not even be on the team after this season because Trey McBride, I don't know what's been going on, but he is a future tight end for the Arizona Cardinals offense. I like this.
So he's a start week 12.
Yes, I'm gonna start him.
All right, your boy Logan Thomas, Commander.
I'm not gonna hold you, Logan Thomas. I have him on both of my leagues, and I didn't draft him on either one.
Okay,
I picked him up as a free agent. Yeah, free agent pickup.
All right,
and he's been a very solid free agent pickup.
Okay,
like a very solid because obviously, my main league where I have Kittle, the one game where Kittle was out, Logan Thomas stepped up pretty big and got me a good old 15 points. That went a long way to my game winning. And Logan Thomas at least gives you a solid number every week.
He gets
a good
his
old
targets.
60 yards roughly. He gets a good amount of targets. Sam Howell loves
I like it.
throwing to his tight ends.
Yeah, I like
his tight ends get the most love and the
Mhm.
running backs
Yeah.
after the past couple of weeks.
Right.
But I like this.
Yeah, I agree
like
with you. I would
this.
start him. I would put him out there.
Yeah.
Against Dallas, it's gonna be some yards to gain. It's not like they're gonna get shut out.
Yeah.
Commanders gonna score some points.
Well, we're gonna score some points. And Sam
Right.
Howell, he gonna get his yards, whether it be touchdowns or not. He gonna get some
he'll
pass
his
yards.
Agreed. We touched on him a little bit earlier. Kyle Pitts versus the Saints.
I can't do
Coming
it.
off the bye.
I can't do it.
I'm done
he's
with
killing,
it too.
I can't.
Yeah.
It hurts my soul. Like I drafted him.
Yeah, bro.
I was so excited. I had such high hopes. I was hoping I didn't have high hopes because of Desmond Ridder. Desmond Ridder was all right, but that was it last season.
Right.
And he starts to show that he's definitely not the guy for the Falcons.
Yeah.
And no disrespect to Desmond Ridder, but
It looks rough.
it looks rough. And Kyle Pitts don't get any love.
No. Jonnu Smith gets
Jonnu,
he
that's
gets
my
love.
problem. How Jonnu Smith
He
getting
gets
love, but
balls.
you use a first round pick on Kyle Pitts, man. If you don't use that man, or
I
you
know.
trade him,
Yeah.
I think he needs to get traded. If anything, because Jonnu's producing and Kyle Pitts isn't. So you trade him and get some value.
Yeah. And Ritter's back. Because Taylor Heineke, they announced that Ritter's going to be the starter.
right.
So, I'm done with that too.
That hurts my soul.
Okay, so free agent number 4 that we're looking at. Keep this one in mind for sure. Tight ends. Isaiah Likely, Ravens tight end. Taking over for Mark Andrews. Don't forget about this cat, because when Andrews got hurt last year, Likely put numbers up. When he was on the field, he put numbers up.
Isaiah Likely,
Yeah, so if you're looking for a boost and you're trying to get a free agent, Isaiah Likely is going to be out there unless the guy who had Mark Andrews picks him up. So, yeah, but Likely he's good. He's good. So that's our 4th free agent, but I like him though.
I like him too.
Yeah.
I like him a lot. Like you said last year, I didn't know who he was, and then he was on the primetime game. I was like, hold on.
And he went
Hold
to work.
on. He's a pretty solid backup tight end. Obviously, he's not going to take Mark Andrews' spot.
No,
Mark
sir.
Andrews is top 3 tight end in the league.
Yeah,
but
he's already got his extension.
that man is real. He's a real good backup. So
Yeah,
I
for
definitely
sure.
I definitely like this pickup right
Yeah,
now.
I definitely give him a thumbs up. Okay, so moving on from Likely, what about Hunter Henry?
I can't do
The
it.
Patriots?
I can't do Hunter Henry.
Bro, I thought the
I just
same
can't.
thing. I thought the same
can't.
thing, but I picked him up week 10
Oh, how
because
was that?
Laporta was on bye. He had like 40 yards and a touchdown, which was perfect. That's all I needed from him.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I tend to say he might be okay because if you really got bad matchups with the regular tight ends, or you had Andrews and you got to find somebody to pick up and you miss out on Likely, Hunter Henry's probably there, because a lot of people feel like you and I felt from the, when we first started talking about it. No, I'm not doing it. But
Yeah.
I think he'd be okay. I mean, for a couple of weeks.
Just
a couple of weeks.
For a couple of weeks, if you have somebody hurt or somebody that's on a bye week, okay,
Yeah.
I can understand it. But as a starter, no.
You're your regular starter?
He's
No.
not, because
Yeah.
I drafted him at first as
Right.
one of my very last picks of the draft.
Right?
Just because I needed a solid backup option. This is before I had Logan Thomas. And
Right.
then I had him start for 1 week because I think Kittle was out 1 week.
Yeah.
And literally, Hunter Henry hasn't done anything. I have him on both leagues. And that was when Kyle
Yeah.
Pitts was
Yeah.
being bad. So I put Hunter Henry
Lord,
in.
you
I
had
put
Pitts and Henry?
I had them both. The tight end that I really wanted was Travis Kelce, and right before it was ready for me to pick, that's when he got picked
Oh,
up.
yeah. Kelsey.
All the other tight ends were gone. Andrews,
Yeah.
all of them were gone. And I literally just froze up. I was like, you know what, give me Kittle. Not
Yeah.
Kittle. Just give me Kyle Pitts. And
Yeah.
I didn't think about it.
Oh,
And then
wow.
I was so mad with myself. And
Oh,
Hunter
yeah.
Henry has done absolutely nothing.
Yeah.
It hurts my soul. That's
Yeah.
why I dropped him for Logan Thomas.
Yeah.
Literally the sole reason.
Logan Thomas is a little bit different threshold as far as yards and targets than Hunter Henry for sure.
And then the
but
quarterback situation.
Oh,
You made a valid point right there when it
Yeah.
comes to picking your offensive targets.
Yeah.
Like when it comes to receivers or tight ends,
Yeah.
if the quarterback situation is bad, it's not.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, it's not going to go well.
Yeah.
And
You shouldn't have to watch
not-
games that close to hope,
Yeah.
oh God, is he good? Yeah, nah.
No.
You should almost be able to set it and forget it if you
Yeah.
draft and pick up free agents, right?
I don't like that.
All right, let's skip down to the kickers. So I'll start each section with, would you start? All right.
All right.
Would you start Tyler Bass, the Bills kicker, at the Eagles?
Yes.
Oh, really?
I say yes because I have him in my other league,
Uh-huh.
and he has been consistent with his kicks.
Dude, I dropped him.
Really?
Yeah, because he had a couple games where he had like 2 extra points, 1 field goal. I was like, because the Bills are having trouble scoring points.
Yeah.
So I moved off of it, but he got off because
look, I loved it. I absolutely loved it.
Yeah.
I absolutely loved that pickup.
Okay. Would you start Greg Joseph, the Vikings kicker, at the Bears?
I would.
Absolutely.
I feel like Josh Dobbs, he don't move the ball.
That's
He don't
right.
get you a field goal or touchdown.
That's right.
And Greg the leg, man, he's pretty consistent.
Yeah.
I like that.
The Bears and Vikings gonna be high scoring division games. So yeah, I agree with you totally. Thumbs up. Okay, this is a homer one for you. Would you start Joey Sly, Commanders kicker, at the Cowboys?
No, sir.
No.
Absolutely not.
I think I get away from that one too.
I like Joey. He's been all right, but it just these close games.
Right.
Like you just miss it.
Yeah.
He did it against the Giants this past week. He's done it. He did it against the Eagles when we had to come back for a 2-point conversion. It's not good.
Yeah.
It's a momentum killer. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it.
I think I agree with you. I think I'll move off of that one too. Okay. Would you start Matt Prater, the Cardinals kicker, versus the Rams?
Yes.
Me too.
I would.
Big old leg.
That man is a really good kicker.
He got a big old leg.
Oh my God.
Yeah. When he was kicking at Detroit, I thought it was because he was kicking indoors, but no. Even outside, my man could kick. So him against the Rams with Kyler Murray back, for sure. He gets 2 thumbs up. All right. The last kicker to talk about. Would you start Cameron Dicker, the Chargers kicker, versus the Ravens? The Ravens coming out west.
I don't think I would personally. It's nothing against Cameron Dicker, but that Ravens defense is insane. So I don't know. I mean, the Chargers gonna move down the field, but it just I just see the Ravens getting a lot of takeovers. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of turnovers.
I feel like I would only because the Chargers are gonna be able to move the ball.
Yeah,
but they're not gonna be able to get touchdowns. For what you just said, that Ravens defense,
that Ravens defense is gonna stop it
down. Right, we're giving them a lot of props. They're not as leaky as they were last year.
Yeah,
but I think Dicker might be good because he got a big leg, and I feel like Herbert's gonna be able to move the ball. If they were playing in Baltimore, I might feel different, but they're playing out west, so I think Dicker might be in play for me. I might give it a shot. But that Ravens defense
is crazy.
Yeah, like you said last time we was out, they got some dogs over there. All right. Let's skip down to some defenses. Would you start the Jags defense at Houston?
No, sir. Oh no, CJ Stroud is
you like Stroud?
He is the offensive rookie of the year for sure. It's a lock. We don't have to talk about
that
it.
argument's over too.
It's already over. And I personally think he's MVP.
Wow.
I think he's MVP.
Big props.
He's playing better than the only other player that I had over him at first was Tua.
Yeah.
Tua arguably he's playing amazing football.
I like Stroud.
He has so many touchdowns. He doesn't have a lot of interceptions. His QBR is one of the best.
Yeah.
Tua is amazing, but CJ Stroud is a whole new level.
Oh, yeah.
And that Jags defense got lit up against the 49ers bad.
They did.
I mean, they came back and did the same thing to the Titans, but it's not saying much. It's the Titans.
Right.
But
yeah. So the Jags defense, you would not. I would agree with that one. All right. So what about the Panthers defense? Would you start the Panthers defense at the Titans?
I don't think I would.
Really?
I don't think I would. And I'm not saying in a confident way of I'm not going to. I feel like it's just one of those pickups. It's just I could, but look at the quarterback situation compared to my quarterback.
Yeah.
The Panthers quarterback, Bryce Young. I like Bryce Young, but he has nothing going for him on offense. It's not even his fault.
Yeah.
And then you got Will Levis. Will Levis got D-Hop. D-Hop, I don't know what's going on with D-Hop.
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting this from D-Hop this year.
Yeah. I mean, he can still play. Honestly, man, to me, I might try it. I might try it.
Okay.
I might try it. Only because the Titans have not proven that they can do much offensively, right?
Yeah.
It would be risky, but if I had some bad matchups and my regular defense had a difficult matchup, I might try this one. This game might be 6-3 because neither team is really effective in any way.
Yeah.
But it'd be dicey. I think you make a good point. It'd be a dicey one. What about, would you start the Seattle defense at the 49ers?
I think I would.
You would?
I think I probably would. The Seattle defense is pretty good.
Right.
Especially the secondary. Oh my God. Don't get me started on the secondary. That secondary, while watching them play against my boys last week, they locked up everybody.
Yeah, Tariq Woolen and Witherspoon.
Witherspoon is amazing. That's defensive rookie of the year.
You think so?
I take that back. Jalen Carter.
Right.
But that's a runner-up.
Yeah.
That's a runner-up. Oh, my God.
Bro, but they're at the 49ers, right?
Brock Purdy,
the thing with
Debo.
it's not even them two. It's Trent Williams. When he plays, they're elite.
Yes.
But when Trent Williams doesn't play, they're okay. But he makes it go. I would not mess with the 49ers if Trent Williams was playing because everything is going to get elevated. You know, when he was with the Commanders.
Oh, man, I miss Trent.
Yeah,
bro.
he's a Hall of Famer walking.
Big silverback, man. I really hope and wish. I mean, obviously, I don't think it's going to happen, but I hope he retires as a Washington. He wanted to stay with us, but
yeah, he's not gonna get out. He's not gonna get away from the 49ers. He's
I doubt it.
So that Seattle defense, you give it a shot, I would stay away from it. I don't want no parts of that game. Yep. Oh, what about the Steelers defense at the Bengals?
Oh yeah,
I think I would go there.
I like this only because Joe Burrow's out for the season. If Joe Burrow was still the quarterback for the Bengals, and it hurts my soul to say that because I love Joe Burrow.
Right.
He's one of my favorite quarterbacks to watch in the NFL.
Yeah.
And he's on my fantasy team.
Yeah.
Thank God I had Purdy as backup because, Lord.
Oh, that's good drafting right there. That's good drafting.
I didn't even draft Purdy. I picked him up free agency.
As a free agent. Everybody slept on him, man. Go ahead. I picked him up as the very last pick in our draft.
Oh,
well, my last pick. I had like the 5th pick, but that's good. So the Steelers defense, I'm with you. I give them a shot because I think the Bengals are going to struggle with quarterback play. Steelers might get right. What about that Ravens defense at the Chargers? We talked a little bit about it. We touched on it when we talked about the kickers. What you think?
This is one of the most confident I feel of all the defenses because we just talked about how crazy they are.
Yeah.
I don't think I
would mess with it.
I'm not doing it.
Question for you. Which NFL coach gets fired first? Who's the next coach to get it?
If it ain't Ron Rivera, I'm going to lose it. Like, I don't get it.
Well, Brandon Staley, man.
Brandon Staley does deserve to get fired too, but you got Ron Rivera, he's the most oblivious coach. We missed out on the playoffs last year because he forgot that this game had playoff implications.
The thing about Staley, he's got a quarterback that's on an extension.
That is true. Too.
All the other teams, they don't really have a quarterback on an extension. They're developing quarterbacks, so they got young guys. But it's just really no excuse for the Chargers. They got everything you need to be good in NFL, but
that roster on paper is crazy.
Yeah.
And you look at their record, they're 5-6.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
That's only like 5-6. Oh my God.
If you asked me that question, Staley would have been my answer.
Oh, for real?
Would have been my answer. Yeah,
I was gonna ask you right after we finish with me.
I think it would have been is Staley for me. But yeah. All right. So look, now we're at a point where me and Greg going to look at our individual rosters, kind of get a feel for who we're going to play for week 12, who's up, who's not in. You go first. You're the guest.
All right.
What's your team? What's your team name?
I think it is the Dorchester Gregra. Gregra is a name that my grandmother gave to me. Well, it's not that it gave to me, but she just could never pronounce my name right. And my grandmother is one of the closest people to me before she had passed. So it always just stuck to me. And Dorchester is where I'm from.
Nice.
Dorchester, Massachusetts.
Okay, cool.
But
what you got on the squad?
For my squad,
okay,
I have Josh Allen, who has been very, very disappointing this year.
He's had a rough time.
I have Geno Smith, Josh Jacobs, who also is very questionable.
Right.
Brian Robinson, he's been solid.
Okay.
I'm not gonna say he was like an amazing pickup, but he was solid.
Okay.
Man, I miss Kyron Williams for the Rams.
Is he back?
No, he's still on IR.
13.
He's still on IR. I'm waiting. I had him just sitting there on the bench, just waiting for him when he comes back. He taking Josh Jacobs' spot.
That's a good cat to be waiting on, though. That's a good one. I like it. Okay, what else you got?
I got Jamar Chase. He's kind of like up and down this year.
Yeah.
When it comes just when it comes to fantasy, as a receiver, he's still like that.
Okay.
Terry McLaurin, I got him later in the draft just because I wanted a solid like number 3, like 2 or 3. Dude. Like he's a solid number 2.
Right.
Or like a number 3, but it just depends. It's like you said, the quarterback situation kind of dictates. It's coming around.
Okay.
And I have Tyler Boyd, who also drafted at the very end of the draft.
Okay.
And then I have Deontay Johnson, who I picked up with free agency. And I cannot stand this pickup. I'm going to drop him after this episode.
You might want to do that. So who you going to start? Oh, what else you got?
I have Kittle.
Yeah.
And then I have Logan Thomas.
Okay.
Along with the Browns defense, which is by far the best pickup I have ever did in the draft. That was one of the very first ones. I got him in both leagues.
Yeah,
and they've been starting since week 1.
Oh, wow.
I loved it.
Yeah, that's a good one. Who you going to start? Who you like?
So for quarterbacks, I'm leaning more towards Geno just because Josh has not been playing that well.
Okay.
So and then running backs, I'm being forced to do Josh Jacobs and Brian Robinson. I've been trying to do trades, y'all. People are just stingy with running backs. They don't want to trade. They want a king's ransom.
Yeah.
I had somebody ask me they wanted Jamar Chase, Terry, and then they was like, you know what? Forget Jamar Chase. Give me Terry and Kittle. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not giving you them two because
I don't.
The compensation was bad.
Yeah, I don't.
The compensation was
trades.
bad.
Yeah, dudes in my league know if you trade with me, it's to make my team better and your team worse. I'm not into that equitable stuff. But anyway, who else you got?
I don't blame you on the trades. I don't do a lot of trades unless I have to.
Yeah, who else you gonna start?
For receivers, I'm gonna have to start Jamar Chase and Terry.
Right.
And I'm looking around to see who else I can take. Tyler Boyd, I want to take him, but at the same time, they have a backup quarterback.
Yeah.
And I really hope he produces. I think his name is Jake Browning.
Yep, Jake Browning.
So if Jake Browning can produce,
Jakey.
I really hope he can give Tyler Boyd the rock. And then I have Kittle start and Logan Thomas ain't gonna start. No disrespect to my guy, but Browns defense, and then my boy Younghoe Koo coming back.
Yes.
I loved him as a kicker.
That's a great kicker.
He was my first kicker. He was my first and only kicker I drafted.
Yeah, because I mean, you figure a team that runs a lot, that's a good kicker to have because they're gonna get bogged down if they don't score a touchdown. So yeah, that's good. I like it.
He's one of the most accurate in the league.
That's sure. He can kick.
What about your team?
My team name is Nick's Picks. Right. My quarterbacks, I got Dak Prescott and Brock Purdy.
Okay.
My running backs, I got Derrick Henry, Najee Harris, Brian Robinson Jr., and my wide receivers, I got Keenan Allen and Jaden Reed. I picked him up last week.
Ooh, okay.
My tight end is Sam Laporta. He's been quiet the last couple of weeks, but there is no way I'm going to give up on him in any way. My kicker, I got Riley Patterson from the Lions. And then my defense, I got the Seahawks defense. They're playing the 49ers this week. So this week, I'm going to start Dak Prescott at quarterback. Everybody was beating me up last week because I said I was going to sit him, but it worked out because Purdy went off. My running backs, I'm going to start Brian Robinson Jr., Najee Harris, and Derrick Henry, and just hope that Harris and Henry have get-right games. Because Brian Robinson, he's like the steadiest one I have.
He's consistent.
Yeah, and especially if Antonio Gibson's out again, Brian Robinson is going to get the lion's share of the targets and the carries from the running back spot. So I keep my fingers crossed on that one. My wide receivers, I'm going to start Keenan Allen and Jaden Reed. Those will be my two receivers, and I'm good with that. And my tight end is going to be Laporta. Riley Patterson, I'm good with my kicker. My defense, I'm probably going to drop the Seahawks defense, and I'm going to pick up one as a free agent. I think I'm going to try to either get the Chiefs defense because they're out there in our league, and if I don't get the Chiefs defense, I'll try to get the Texans defense. Because they have some good matchups.
That's a sleeper team
Yeah. Because I know I can get them, right? Very few guys in our league going to be thinking that deep to try to go after the Texans if I don't get the Chiefs. So, I mean, I feel pretty good. I got a decent matchup. I'm playing against one of the better drafters in our league, so I got to get right. So, yeah, that's going to be my lineup. I don't really have any major questions at this point, but Thanksgiving is going to be big because I'll be in the Dallas game and I'll be in the Lions game. So I'll know by Friday. I'll know if I'm gonna get a win or not.
Yeah. I really like that Sam Laporta pickup like that.
Oh yeah, bro.
I slept on that. Like, I was one of the people that slept. I don't know, and then coming to the season, he went.
Yeah. The thing is, Iowa puts out NFL tight ends. He had high production in college, so I felt good. And plus, Jared Goff likes throwing to the tight end, so I was like, man, let me get this dude. So it's been working out pretty good, but we'll see, man. We'll see. Hopefully I get a win. If I get a win, I might be a lock for a playoff spot. And I just try to get to the playoffs. And whatever happens after that, it happens. So we'll see. What else you got? You good?
No, I'm good.
You straight?
Yeah. I pray and hope that I win.
You'll get a win.
It depends upon these Thursday night games.
All right, we'll see how it goes. I appreciate you sitting in with us, man.
I appreciate you having me on.
I think Brendan's
here.
off next week. Maybe you and Brendan can get back out. I'll take another break. We're going to go ahead and get out of here, man. I hope everybody has a safe and happy Thanksgiving. God knows we all got a lot to be thankful for. So enjoy your holiday. Me and Brendan, we might get you on Instagram Live, too. We usually do that Sunday mornings at like 11:30. That's been working out real good. We connected with some cool people, got some good questions. So look out for us on Instagram Live, Sundays at 11:30. We'll talk to you soon.
Oh, yeah.